I work in search and rescue in California. I won't give my name. It doesn't matter, and honestly, it's better that it stays out of it. What I'm about to describe actually happened. Some of it I experienced firsthand. Some of it came from incident reports, debriefs, and statements from people I've worked alongside for years. There are plenty of stories online about strange things in national parks. I've seen them. Most people treat them like folklore or entertainment. That's fine. I'm not here to convince anyone or sell a theory. I'm only going to talk about what I've seen, what I've been told directly, and what ended up documented even when no one knew how to explain it afterward. Most search and rescue calls are forgettable. People get tired, lose the trail, panic, and make things worse. We usually find them cold, embarrassed, and not very far from where they started. Those cases don't stay with you. The ones that do are the cases where distance stops behaving the way it should. The first time I saw that happen involved a 6-year-old boy. He was hiking with his parents and his older sister in a park they knew well, wide trail, clear visibility. Nothing technical or dangerous. According to both parents, the kids were walking about 10 feet ahead, arguing over something trivial. The parents stopped briefly at a junction to check a map. When they looked up again, the boy was gone. Not drifting away. Not lagging behind. The sister said he had been right there seconds earlier. There was no scream. No sound of running. No brush moving. Nothing. They searched on their own for a few minutes before calling it in. We responded immediately. Multiple teams, dogs, and air support requested. His last known location was recent and clear, which usually means a good outcome. Kids that age don't travel far alone. They get scared. They hide, they sit down. The dogs picked up his scent quickly. That gave everyone confidence. The trail was clean, the track was strong. The dogs followed it for about a quarter mile, then veered off to the right into rocky downhill terrain. That's where it stopped making sense. The scent didn't scatter, it didn't loop. It didn't fade gradually, it ran straight for another half mile and then just stopped. No trail, no road, no reason for it to end there. We expanded the search area, then expanded it again. There were no signs of an adult being involved, no extra footprints. No drag marks, no disturbed ground. We searched for 3 days. On the 4th day, a call came in from a fire lookout crew in a completely different section of the park. They reported a child sitting near the top of a ridgeline accessed only by service road and foot trail. The location was nearly 40 miles northwest of where the boy vanished. We assumed it was another child. It wasn't. When we arrived, he was sitting on a rock ledge just below the ridgeline, legs dangling, swinging his feet. Same clothes. No jacket, no shoes, his feet weren't cut. They weren't even especially dirty. He wasn't hypothermic, he wasn't dehydrated. He wasn't injured. He waved when he saw us. The medic checked him while we secured the area. The boy kept asking when his parents were coming and whether his sister was still mad at him. He wasn't confused or distressed. When asked how he got there, he shrugged and said, "I walked." No one pressed him right then. You don't interrogate kids in the field. We got him out. The real questions came later. During debrief, someone asked who he'd been with while he was gone. The assumption was that he might have followed another hiker. He shook his head and said, "I was with the dear man for a little while." No one reacted. Kids say things. You let them talk. He explained that the deer man was tall and had antlers. Not horns. Antlers. He said one was missing and the other wiggled. Asked if the deer man touched him. He said no. He just walked with me. Asked where he went, the boy said, "He can't go where it's loud." Then, unprompted, he added, "He said he's not the bad one." When asked who the bad one was, the boy replied, "The wolf man." He said to watch out. That phrase was written down exactly as spoken. The boy was reunited with his family that night. Doctors cleared him. The media focused on the distance and the miracle. The rest stayed internal. About a month later, I was on a different call in another park. Lost adult hiker. We found him before dark. While walking him out, he asked if we'd seen the antler thing. He said he'd seen something tall standing on a ridgeline earlier that day. It didn't move when he yelled. He said animals don't stand like that. He said it didn't follow him. It just watched until he left? A few weeks after that, a ranger who'd done a welfare visit with the 6-year-old's family called me. While reviewing hiking safety, the boy interrupted. He said that doesn't work if the rocks sound hollow. Asked who said that, the boy answered, "The deer man. That's where the wolf man goes." He explained that the wolf man looks like a man until you're close. Then he doesn't. He didn't elaborate. Then he lost interest and went back to playing. I should have moved on. But I didn't, because the next time it came up, it wasn't a kid. It was a 16-year-old who went missing overnight after being dropped at a trailhead. He was found the next morning 10 miles away, exhausted and dehydrated. While being checked, he kept watching downhill. Asked why, he said, "It stayed down there." He said whatever it was never came level with him, always below. He said he never saw it, but you could tell. Asked why he stopped moving, he said, "It told me to." Asked what it said, he answered, "Don't go where the rocks echo." That's where the wolf man is. He refused to talk after that. A year later, an experienced solo backpacker vanished. We found him 2 days later in a dry wash nowhere near his planned route. He was angry more than scared. Asked why he left the trail, he said, "Something told me not to go that way." He described something upright that stayed just out of sight, always around bends. It warned him away from sound. The wolf man, he said. That was the third adult to say it without being prompted. After that, we started noticing patterns. People found at the edges of certain areas. Dogs refusing to track downhill without losing scent. Radios cutting out only in low, rocky drainages. Then a hiker reported finding a pile of gear laid out neatly on a rock. Backpack, boots, jacket, no damage. No blood, the owner was never found. The hiker asked us if we'd heard of the thing that stays below. He called it the wolf man. Another case involved an older couple who went missing on a routine day hike. Early 60s, experienced. Good weather, they didn't return. Their car stayed overnight. We searched for days. On day 6, they walked out of the woods holding hands. They looked younger. Their IDs confirmed who they were, but the photos didn't match their faces. They remembered hiking. They remembered a bright light. They didn't remember time passing. Other hikers later reported a silent light above the trees that day. Another group described a round structure lowering into a clearing. Nothing was found afterward. They moved away. Later, during training, we found a red-wrapped box in a remote clearing. "Do not open" written on top. No tracks. No disturbance. We moved it to base. That was a mistake. Rangers reported sounds from storage. Voices. Movement. The box changing orientation without explanation. Cameras showed nothing. No one opened it. Eventually, it was returned to where it was found. It was gone the next time. Another case involved campers reporting coordinated howling at night. Not random. Not coyotes. During a patrol, we saw large canine shapes in the trees. They climbed. They watched. They escorted us out. No den was found. The area was closed. Then there was the girl who vanished in 1999. 7 years old. Busy trail. Gone without sound. 9 years later, I found her sitting by a creek. She hadn't aged. She knew her parents' number. They came. She said she'd been with friends. She grew up normally after that. I've seen enough now to know that not everything out there works the way we think it should. Some things warn, some things watch. Some places collapse distance. Some return people changed. I'm not here to explain it. If you go into the parks, go with others. Stay close. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, leave. Some people don't get a second chance.